Okay, no BS, let's talk about Zenless Zone Zero. I think it is a good game. Not a great game, not a bad game. It is a good game. So let's go ahead and break this down. The first thing I want to talk about is the story. I'm going to be honest, in the prologue, I did not care about the story at all. I thought it was pretty and I just wasn't really invested. Not with the characters or what was going on. There was like a whole bit with the hackers, but I was pretty disinterested for the most part. However, having played through all of Chapter 1, it does get much better. And I do now care about the characters a little bit more, and there were some pretty neat and touching moments. So the story does get better, and I'm sure it's only gonna progressively get better whenever it gets to Chapter 2, and I hear it really gets good around Chapter 3. I don't know that for certain, but that's just what I have been hearing, and I don't want to touch any spoilers, but I am looking forward to see what's to come, because so far I do enjoy it, but there are places that they can improve on. Speaking of improvement, the TV system just straight up needs to go. But I don't even know how they can even do it because it's just so ingrained to the game. It's just very cumbersome and tedious. It is not fun to play, and honestly, it's a little bit frustrating because it looks very stylish and it looks appealing, but when you actually get your hands on it, it's just not enjoyable. I really do think they need to just overhaul and get rid of it entirely. So let's go ahead and talk about the combat. The combat itself is flashy, it's nice, and it's pretty, and it does feel good. However, it's more of a flash in the pan type deal. So what I mean by that is whenever you switch out, you kind of like an intro skill, kind of like Wuthering Waves. However, that's like 90% of the combat. So you'll notice you'll just be pressing one button pretty much over and over again, occasionally throwing a skill, and then you're just gonna be spamming swap-ins like left and right, and that's just the majority of the gameplay, which I am concerned about. Maybe in the end game you have to be a bit more strategic with how you do it and how you parry and dodge and whatnot, but at the current moment it does seem very basic. I think Wuthering Waves at the current moment is leaps and bounds ahead when in terms of combat capability. It is just so far out of the league that Zenless Zone Zero is just left in the dust. In my personal opinion, I think Zenless Zone Zero has a lot to grow, and they could probably take a page or two out of their book, if I'm being perfectly honest with you guys. And as far as the leveling up and the gachas, it does seem decent for now. Every gacha game, you always are going to be showered with lots of pulls at the beginning to keep you coming. However, that's going to slow down once you get into like the mid and late game. At the current moment, it is nice, and I'll go ahead and throw my pulls that I had, and I was actually pretty happy with the S rank character that I got. I'll go ahead and show that kind of towards the end. Oh yeah, how could I forget? Just the style and the animation itself. I want to say that Zenless Zone Zero has the best animations I have ever seen in any gacha game. Yes, that includes Honkai Star Rail, and that includes Genshin as well. I think everything is very fluid and looks very nice. So whenever you're playing in a combat or you're walking around kind of like I am with Bella here, everything seems very fluid and natural. And I've never seen, honestly, most games that I've played don't even have this kinds of animation. So, like, bravo, Hoyoverse. Another thing that they really, did a great job on is the music. The OST is honestly very, very good. I like a lot of the songs. Like, I can't really think of a time when I've been to a place and I've been like, man, I don't really like this song. It's all been, like, pretty on points. A very chill vibe, and honestly something that I could just listen to while I'm studying or something like that. It is very nice and refreshing to see something like this. Say what you want about Hoyoverse, but when it comes to their music, hey, they never miss, alright? Now, I believe the real question is going to be, how is the mid to late game going to be? And a big question as well is the daily grind. So I've gotten to the point where I'm able to do my dailies and do my resin. In this case, it's known as battery charge. So I was able to use my battery charge to level up my characters and gain some extra XP. But at the current moment, we're still trying to figure out what's the most optimal way that you can level up your characters. Although I do have a general idea because every gacha game is the same as pretty much the next one. But at the current moment, the daily grind does seem like it's going to be the same old. But it's kind of to be expected. So we're just going to have to see, and only time will tell. At the current moment, I'm going to have to give Zenless Zone Zero an 8 out of 10 as far as gachas go. I would say it is better than most, but there are certainly rooms for improvement. I originally did a video right after I did the prologue, but I'm very glad that I waited because I'm much more informed now. Something else that I didn't even mention, which is actually a very nice addition, is trial characters. So I personally like using story characters or characters that are involved in that particular moment in the story as much as possible. And whenever you do a story mode, they always offer you trial characters. In this case, I'm going to go into light spoilers here, so be warned. But whenever you get to chapter 1, you meet a character named Nekomata. And whenever you get further into the chapter, you can actually play her. She's actually a 5-star character and she is not free to play. However, you can try her out throughout the story and she's actually a pretty powerful unit. If I get her on my account through like an early 50-50 loss, and I'm talking about like first 10 pull, I actually wouldn't mind getting her because she was actually a lot of fun and very powerful. So I'm hoping to see more of that in the future where we get to try out characters, see how it goes. I think they kind of experimented with that in Honkai Star Rail, and they kind of did that in Genshin, but not really so much. But Zenless Zone Zero, I hope to see in the future we get to play as more 5-star characters of whoever is involved. I think it's actually a very nice addition. So thank you for that. It's something that I very much appreciate. However, this is a work in progress review, so I want you guys to subscribe for more because I plan on covering Zenless Zone Zero as much as I possibly can so you guys can be as well informed as possible, whether it's upcoming news or anything that I think about the game that needs to be improved. I want to inform you guys so you guys can be as educated as possible. So please consider subscribing. It would mean the world to me, and well, you have me. So it's a win-win. Anyways, that'll go ahead and do it for me. So thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for all things gacha. And as always, subscribe for more.